Okay.
Hello, everyone. How are you today? I hope you are having a great day. Today, we are going to talk about, of course, quantum healing, but also forgiveness. We all know that is a big subject, but it's also necessary. And I have with me Nicole. Hello, Nicole. How are you today?
I'm good. I'm so excited to be here, and I just want to thank you for having me on your podcast.
Oh, it's a pleasure. And so thank you for accepting. I really appreciate it. Yeah, so maybe for those who doesn't know you, because I know you do some podcasts, can you just share with us what you do and who you are actually?
Absolutely. And I do a lot of things, so I'll kind of just make it really short and sweet. But I, like you, have a podcast. My partner and I, Galinda, we do a podcast every Wednesday, and we're in the United States, so it would be 3 p.m. Eastern time, and it's about let's get real. And what we do is we'd like to bring people in who offer something to the world, like someone like yourself. So I do that. I'm also known as a quantum energy healer and a forgiveness expert. And the reason I do those two things together is what I've come to learn through all of my healing is you really have to be a forgiving person and have forgiven yourself. And
Yes, go ahead. We can see it through
okay,
visualization. Yes.
yeah, so there's many different ways to release that. I've had some people scream into a pillow. I've had people throw up. A lot of people cough. Coughing is a way to release, or just visualizing yourself up on a stage, maybe with that person who did that harm to you, looking them eye to eye and forgiving them. Just forgiving them, because what you're doing is you're releasing that attachment to that person and to what they did to you. And you're really not doing it for them, because there's a lot of people that don't care that they hurt you. They really don't.
Yeah.
Bullies don't care. And so if you think you're going to get an apology or someone's going to come groveling to you, that's just not going to happen. And you don't, if someone is that mean to you and treats you that way, why do you want to continue to carry the hurt they caused inside of you and have it affect your health and your daily activities? You don't. So I always tell people forgiveness is for you. It's not for them. And you're not condoning anything they did. You're simply freeing yourself. You're freeing yourself to walk a path of emotional freedom, is what you're doing.
Yes, I agree. And it helps you move on actually, because like you say, some people have trauma since 18 months, years old, and dragging that all, but you need to really see it. But some people don't know they have the trauma. They just, okay, I'm bad. I'm always finding a bad relationship, or the job that I keep looking is not the one for me. So everything is your fault. But I'm sure if they go deeper, like you mentioned, they can find out what happened in the past and resolve that issue.
Yes, and it's not easy. It's really not. I mean, some people really resist it.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think it's they're resisting the forgiveness, but they're afraid of what they're going to find in there.
Oh,
They're afraid of what transpired, and especially in cases where there's sexual abuse. That's a little harder to deal with than the all of it's hard. If something's affecting your life for that many years in that kind of capacity, it's always going to be hard. But I'm finding the sexual traumas are really tough, because if you're 4 or 5 years old, you have no control. And a lot of times the person who is the abuser is very manipulative with their words, saying, oh, you asked for it,
yeah.
you like it, and that sticks in there. Well, I must be a bad girl because I like it.
Yeah.
And so that is a little bit tougher, but I've dealt with that also. and had some great outcomes. But you know, I had one lady that I was working with, and she remembers the situation where it happened, but she couldn't bring herself to look at it, you know, because you can see it with like your third eye or with your eyes closed, you can envision it. And I told her, I said, you know, I said, I said, you have an orange towel on you. And she told me, she says, you know, she goes, that makes sense. She goes, I've always hated the color orange. Yeah. So I mean, and what happens with me, Beverly, is a lot of times because I'm an empath and because I have some abilities to work with these people to where I can feel, see, hear things for them. I have all my clair abilities. I see it in my mind's eye, and I can tap into an age or a time, not feel the hurt, but it's almost like I'm with them at that moment. So they have the safety of that. So when I saw that, you know, that orange towel, it just popped into my mind, and it dawned on her why have I always hated orange? Well, because that towel was the only thing protecting her from that sexual assault. But she associated the color orange with that assault, and she hates the color orange. So it's things like that we don't even think of. You know, we don't really, it's not like going to the doctor and then saying, well, you've got this, you need to take this pill. It's you working on you, not someone telling you, but
Exactly.
you being ready to dig and release and walk that path.
And once you are able to do that, the pain is relief, right? The trauma is relief.
The trauma is released from their body, that particular trauma, but what they know when they're going in is that when you're carrying that kind of thick, dense, painful energy, your body is at dis-ease. It's a disease, and it can really make you sick to carry all that, and it makes you heavy, and it's a burden. And what they know, that when we get to that other side and we release, if it's hate, if it's anger, if it's grief, whatever it is we're releasing that's heavy, you have space in there now, and you get to replace with love and with joy, with hope. Whatever you were lacking because of those emotions, you've gotten rid of them now, and your new ones come in. And that's what helps you release, are these feelings of gratitude and joy for not having that heavy burden inside of your body anymore.
Okay, more positive emotion, actually.
Absolutely. That's absolutely what it is. And, you know, just like you and I both know, when we wake up sad or angry, that doesn't feel nearly as good as joy or happiness.
Yes.
You know, so can you imagine living with that for like 40 something years, 50 years?
Yeah. It's a life-changing when you remove all that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know, it's sad because even I watch people like with their children, and they think they're correcting them, or maybe not really punishing them, but oh, here's how you're supposed to do it. I hear the tones and voices. I can see the body language. You know, I can see him grab a child by an arm. I see him do all these things, and it's like, well, someone's going to have to be around later to undo that, because that's going to stick in them. So we need to be very cautious with words. Words can heal you, but words harm you also.
Yeah, it can destroy you also. Yeah, I agree.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you know, even when I think about my divorce and what I went through when I was going through this and sick, he was never physically harmful, but boy, his words and the verbal that he would use on me, I felt like I was this big at times. So I honestly, I think words can be your best friend or your worst enemy.
We have to be careful when we speak, because that's the reason why there is as we say, you need to turn your tongue 7 times before you speak.
Oh, I've never heard that.
You never
What does
heard?
that
Okay,
mean?
we say that in
No.
French. I don't know if, but yeah, you need to turn your tongue 7 times before you speak, because of what you can say can hurt someone.
So it just maybe gives you time to reflect on
Yes.
what's, yeah.
Yeah.
And you know, that's the beauty of forgiveness too, though, is that you reach a higher vibration when you forgive. And to be in true forgiveness, you can't be an ego. And usually when you're an ego, that we think that's this protective device that everyone says, oh yeah, ego. Well, what it's doing is it's really oftentimes doing more harm than good, because if you're getting a fight in when you're an ego, it's like if he's right, I'm wrong. If I'm wrong, he's right. There's
Mm-hmm.
no just accepting each other's opinion. And to be in true forgiveness, you can't be an ego. You cannot, it has to come from a loving heart, not an egoic heart. So I found that to be very true. And it's really changed my vision as to how I look at people. And as crazy as this sounds, and people are like, they look at me and I still send love to my ex-husband, but it's on a soul level. I never, not verbally,
Mm-hmm.
just through the universe, just through the collective consciousness. And I send him blessings. And two things for that. I send him love because he's a man that cannot love himself. I don't think he ever really has. But also that anything you send out by universal law has to come back to you.
Yeah.
So that's what I want coming back to me. I don't want, I don't want hate and greed
Yeah.
and mean. I want good for myself and for everybody else.
Yeah. And there is no point to hate, because even if you hate, or it's gonna make you feel bad, but you're going to carry that with you. When you send love, after that you just don't think about the person, because okay, you forgave him, you send him love, but it's not easy. I know it's not easy for certain people, and depends on the situation.
Mm-hmm.
It can take time sometimes, because I would say, for example, I can forgive, but if it's something really where I was really hurt, maybe like a few years in the forward, I will think about something that will remind me. You see, I don't know if you understand that. So
I do.
I'm back to, oh, I remember that person did that and that. So
Yes, I
I'm
I
trying to figure,
absolutely.
yeah, I'm trying to figure out the way to just let it go, not to remember about that moment. Yes, I don't know if you heard me. I was saying maybe you have an advice about not be able to go back, in the past once we forgive.
And I still, in all honesty, as much as I've forgiven and sending my ex-love, my triggers will be like if one of my kids comes to me and said, Dad said da 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 da. And it's just like all of a sudden, here comes the ego, here comes the anger. And I your triggers, that's a trigger for me. And it's like I need to do some more work there.
Yeah.
I need something's missing. I still have something in there. And so that's what I do is it's like it's not nothing that is said about you is really about you. It's about what that person saying it is
Mm-hmm.
feeling or their perception of it. And when I learned that, that really helped me along my healing journey and my forgiveness journey. The things he did, I had no control over that. That was him, not me. And I blame myself for a lot. But what I do is when I have one of those triggers, I'll be like, okay, what did I miss? What's going on? Why does that make me mad? And I'll keep asking questions till I get to the answer. And then one of the ways that I really learned to practice forgiveness was with a method called Ho'oponopono.
Okay.
And have you heard of that?
Yes, I heard a lot about it, but I don't know what it is.
It's an ancient Hawaiian forgiveness practice. And if you've ever been to the Hawaiian Islands, they are a very different kind of people. They're very loving, they're very easygoing, they're extremely spiritual, which I love. But what they would do is the minute there were disagreements within the family, this is what it was built for family coherence. The minute there was just something going on, it's like everybody, we're going to talk about it. They talk about it, and then it's for, you can call it a phrase, you can call it a prayer. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me, and thank you. And what I did is I would just repeat those phrases over and over and over. And each one is very highly vibrational. So there, when you're saying it, it's resonating in your body. And it's almost as if your anger or whatever that trigger was washes away. It's really amazing. I use that. Yeah, just use that. And you can just close your eyes. Always put your hand on your heart, because your heart space is where love. Yeah, and just say those, and you can just kind of, just over and over and over and let it wash away.
Okay. Oh, that's wonderful. Yeah. And I have one question before we have. You also, yes, I think you just explained that, how you help releasing the childhood and ancestral trauma. I want to know about the ancestral trauma, how you do it. Is it the same then when you do the childhood?
It's usually the same, and everything's different. And honestly, each one is different because I'm guided through it and kind of told what to do or what I need or what kind of crystals. But it's really the same. It's just coming from farther back. It could be maybe from a past life, or it could be something that, when you think about it, no matter how far back you go, you've got an ancestor coming forward making a new, there was my mom, there was my grandma, there was her grandma. So we've got the cells and we've got the memories oftentimes of thousands of years back that can stick in us, because I can remember I was doing something the way my mom cooked. I said, why do we do it this way? Well, because my mom did. I said, well, why? Well, because her mom did. So things like that. So we've got the memories going way, way, way back. And so our cells hold that when we're born or when something's said. And so it's really the same. And oftentimes when you are in a hypnotic state, because it's in your cells, you can experience it and try to pinpoint that exact time, or maybe even that person, as to why you're doing it, or why you're doing it and what it is. And so not always, but it is really just coming through your lineage up through birth.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, so you're going really deep, like really further. Wow,
Really far back. And I have helped people. It's interesting too, because sometimes we're not doing a past life regression, but I was working with one lady and we were trying to get rid of some present trauma from a divorce, which I think it's all, very common. We've all been there. But anyway, we were working on releasing some anger because her husband was very verbally abusive. So we were doing that, and all of a sudden she says, oh my gosh, I'm being stabbed in my side. And I said, okay. I said, do you feel it? She goes, well, no, but I know it's happening. And I said, okay. I said, where's it coming from? She goes, it's my dad. She says, but this is a long time ago. She says, I think I'm in France and I'm about 12 or 13 years old. And I did something and he's like poking me with something because I'm in trouble. It just popped in. I didn't even guide her there, and it popped in.
Okay. That's great.
So there's there's just things, that
no, go ahead.
go ahead. I was going to say there's just things that because we know everything, it's just everything it's that right moment, and all of a sudden she was just like, oh my gosh, this is why I always have pains in my side now. So
yeah. And once she sees that, the pain can be released, right?
She can release it because she knows how. She knows that it was her father that was punishing her, and knows how he was punishing her. And that way we can go through the methods of forgiveness, or you can go through a lot of things we'll talk about is that no longer serves you. You do not need to have that pain. That pain is not from you. It's from, maybe 3 lifetimes ago. So let's release that. And then, I just go through some things that they can say to release it. In this moment of this now, I no longer need this physical pain. This does not serve me in any way. I now release it to the universe, to my guides, ancestors, or angels to take to the heavens and transmute.
Okay.
And that way it's gone. And it's not, that I'm just giving you an example, because when I'm doing that and I'm in the moment, I'm getting my messages from a higher source. So from someone way smarter than me. Yeah.
Yeah. And if people want to get in touch with you, they can reach you on which platform?
I've made it so simple as I've kept everything just in my name. So everything's under Nicole Harvick. You can see it here. I am on Facebook. I am on LinkedIn. I'm on Instagram. And I have a website that's NicoleHarvick.com. There's actually a Calendly in there. And I do like a half-hour courtesy call with you to see if maybe I can help you, or if you want to work with me. So there's all kinds of ways to reach me, and I'm really good about engaging with people that have questions. I want to help. I feel like I had to go through this myself to be of help to others. And as I look back, it's like I wouldn't be sitting here talking to you now if that hadn't happened to me, the divorce and the pain and the sickness. And so I'm using it for the greater good.
Yeah, I can. So I will put all the links below the video, so people can reach you through those different platforms.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome. It was a pleasure to have you on my channel, and I would love to do another one if you agree.
Yeah, yes, we will definitely keep in touch for sure.
Yeah, so thank you everyone for watching, and you can like the video or also share. Thank you everyone. Bye-bye. Bye, Nicole.
Bye. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.